He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. Friedrich Nietzsche. You've been betrayed. By her. By life. By yourself. And no one is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your friends, not even the red pill gods you've been worshipping online. You know what I'm talking about. You scroll through the content. Testosterone-fueled edits, gym reels, alpha advice, cold approach tactics, never simp mantras. And for a while, it feels like fire. Finally, something that speaks to your anger. Finally, someone who doesn't treat your pain like a joke. But then the high wears off. You're still alone. You're still broken. You're still afraid. And worst of all, you're ashamed of that fear. Let me tell you something dangerous, something they won't say. Your struggle is not because you're weak. It's because the world has become hollow, and you've been left to carry meaning on your own shoulders. That weight is crushing. It would destroy most men, but it hasn't destroyed you yet. That's why you're here. You want more than tactics. You want more than dating tricks. You want truth, no matter how violent, no matter how dark. Then listen, because we're going to walk through hell, through Nietzsche's furnace. And if you survive it, you won't be a man anymore. You'll be something more. Let's start with them. The red pillars. They told you women are hypergamous. They said female nature can't be trusted. They said build muscle, build status, ignore emotion, and win. And they were right, partially. The red pill isn't a lie. It's just a half-truth. And a half-truth is more dangerous than a full lie. You learned what works. You learned how to pull. You learned what triggers attraction and how to punish disrespect. You started to feel powerful again. But here's the question Nietzsche would ask. At what cost to your soul? You didn't become stronger, you became harder. And a man who hardens without wisdom doesn't become a god. He becomes a shell. Beware that, when fighting monsters, you yourself do not become a monster. For when you gaze long into the abyss gazes also into you. You started out trying to save yourself. Now look at you. You're cold, paranoid, suspicious of every smile. You don't trust love, don't feel joy, don't know how to cry. You seduce, but you can't connect. You've become a calculating animal in a broken simulation, and it's killing your spirit. Nietzsche warned of this. He called it nihilism, the death of meaning. When the old gods die, truth, family, loyalty, purpose, we don't get freedom, we get despair. Red pill men are often right about female instinct, but they're dead wrong about what to do with that knowledge. They teach you to dominate. Nietzsche teaches you to transcend. Let's clear something up. When Nietzsche spoke of the will to power, he wasn't talking about status, followers, or laying women. That's a child's version of power. Real power, the kind that bends fate, is the ability to shape your own values, your own soul, even in the midst of suffering. Most men are empty not because they don't get women, but because they don't know why they want them. Let me ask you, when you chase women, what are you really chasing? Approval? Proof you're a man? Revenge against the girls who rejected you? You think she's the prize. You think if you win her, you'll finally feel complete. But Nietzsche would say, you're still a slave. Not to her, but to your desire for validation. You must kill that slave in you. The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. You think you're rebelling. You're not. You've just switched tribes, from blue pill to red. You wear a different mask, but it's still a mask. You have not yet become a creator. To Nietzsche, the real man isn't one who wins according to someone else's game. He is one who creates his own rules, his own truth, even if it means walking alone through fire. That's the will to power, not dominance, self-overcoming. And it begins the moment you stop asking, "What do women want?" and start asking, "What kind of man do I want to become?" regardless of who notices. 3 metamorphoses of the spirit do I designate to you: how the spirit becomes a camel, the camel a lion, and the lion, finally, a child. Friedrich Nietzsche. You've tried to be a lion. Red Pill told you to roar, assert boundaries, crush weakness, never submit. But Nietzsche says you can't become a lion until you've first been the camel. Strange, right? The camel isn't sexy. He's not strong or alpha. He kneels. He carries burdens. He walks alone in the desert. Why start there? Because the camel is the man who carries pain, loss, duty. He doesn't escape it. He doesn't numb it with dopamine or bravado. He endures it. You're in the desert now, betrayed, rejected, abandoned, and that is necessary. The camel stage is where you confront the brutal weight of existence, not hide from it behind women or sex or pride. It's where you ask, what have I lost? Who have I been? What have I tolerated that I should have destroyed? Only once the camel breaks under the weight of lies does he roar. Only then does the lion emerge. The lion says no to false values, to the tribe, to the gods that failed him. He destroys the chains, but he does not yet create. The red pill lion only knows how to negate. No to simping, no to weakness, no to female nature. But Nietzsche's lion is different. His no is a doorway, a portal into the final metamorphosis, the one almost no man reaches. The child. The child is not soft. He's not weak. He's pure force. Innocent, not because he is naive, but because he has passed through death. He's the creator, the builder of new values. He plays, but with godlike fire. The lion rebels. The child transforms. Most men stop at the lion. They get strong, cold, and bitter. They win the war, but lose their soul. But if you're ready, if you've suffered enough, you can go further. You can become the man no algorithm can predict, no woman can define, no culture can break. You can become the child of fire. The higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly. You want to know why you feel alone? Because you've begun to see. Most people are asleep. You are waking up, and waking up is agony. The red pill crowd pretends it's a brotherhood, but most of them are still trapped in the marketplace, competing for attention, validation, approval. They preach strength, but behind closed doors, they're addicted to their own hate. Because hate is easy. It feels like power, but it's not transformation, it's a tantrum. Nietzsche would spit on that weakness disguised as dominance. He'd say, if you are to ascend, you must leave the crowd. You must go to the mountain. What does that mean? It means no longer building your identity based on opposition to others. It means no longer being obsessed with how women behave or what the world owes you. It means staring into your own abyss and saying, I will not be defined by betrayal. I will not be another casualty of bitterness. I will rise, and it will be on my terms. But you must do it alone, not because you want to, because you must. That is the price of truth. He who climbs upon the highest mountains laughs at all tragedies, real or imaginary. You will bleed. You will cry. You will be misunderstood. But one day you will laugh. Not the laugh of a boy hiding behind memes and coping mechanisms, but the laugh of a man who has conquered chaos and carved meaning out of suffering. And no woman, no ex, no social media god will ever take that from you. Let's get real. Let's talk about what this looks like in your life. Scenario 1. You get ghosted by a girl you thought cared about you. Red Pill says, she was never yours. Just your turn. Level up and replace her. Nietzsche says, good. Let this betrayal carve a deeper strength in you. Do not replace her. Transform because of her. Every heartbreak is a mirror. Instead of chasing revenge, become the man who doesn't need revenge. Scenario 2. You've been grinding in the gym, but you still feel insecure. Red Pill says, build more muscle. Post progress pics. Show them your alpha. Nietzsche says, if your body is strong but your spirit is fragile, you are still a slave. Train not for vanity, but as a ritual of self-overcoming. The gym isn't therapy. It's sacred war. It's where your old self dies. Daily. Scenario 3. You feel lost, no direction, no clarity. Red Pill says, get rich, get status. Women will follow. Nietzsche says, without a why, your riches will become chains. Without a purpose, your victories will taste like ash. He would tell you, go into solitude. Silence the noise. Ask the dangerous questions. What do I actually value? What am I willing to suffer for? What kind of legacy will I leave? And when the answers come, don't flinch. What is great in man is that he is a bridge and not a goal. Nietzsche. The Red Pill Alpha is a destination, a role, an image. He gets the girls, he controls the frame, he earns the money, he becomes the man every other man envies. But Nietzsche's Übermensch, he's not a destination, he's a bridge between what you were and what you could become. The Übermensch isn't defined by women or status or even power. He's defined by his ability to generate meaning out of suffering. The Red Pill Alpha says, become high value so you can win. The Übermensch says, transcend all value systems, create your own law, and walk alone if you must. The Alpha is respected. The Übermensch is feared because he no longer plays by the world's rules. He doesn't need to dominate others because he has already conquered himself. Red Pill Alpha. Externally impressive. He curates his image. He plays social games. He uses his past pain as fuel for success. But he's still trapped in the cycle. Approval, revenge, validation, performance. He wins. But his soul is still chained. Übermensch. Internally sovereign. He is not above pain. He integrates it. He doesn't chase attention. He radiates presence. He doesn't need to be admired because he admires what he has become. He's not better than other men. He is something else entirely. Nietzsche would say, the Red Pill Alpha is a reaction. The Übermensch is a creation. And most men will never make that leap because it requires one thing, the death of who you used to be. You have to grieve him, the man you were, the one who begged for love, the one who wanted to be saved, the one who thought being good would be enough. You have to bury him with ritual, with fire, because he will keep whispering. He will say, maybe she'll come back. Maybe if I just become high value enough. Maybe if I prove I'm worthy. But Nietzsche says no. Man is a rope, tied between beast and Übermensch, a rope over an abyss. You are not here to beg. You are not here to please. You are not even here to succeed. You are here to become, and becoming requires the death of the boy, the collapse of your old self, the total, violent rejection of weakness disguised as kindness, not because you are cruel, but because you are ready to live. Real life, real responsibility, real risk. You are not a victim of female nature. You are a warrior of fate. You are not a slave to dating culture. You are a blacksmith of values. You decide what matters. You are not some wounded soul waiting to be chosen. You are the chooser now, the fire, the storm. And if you cannot find a path, then carve one, with blood, with silence, with power. One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. You've passed through it now, the collapse, the roaring, the death. You've walked Nietzsche's desert. You've seen the abyss and didn't blink. Now comes the hardest part, re-entering life. Not as a slave, not as a red pill imitator, but as a creator. You return not for revenge, but for responsibility. You build not to prove yourself, but because it is your nature to build. You speak not to impress, but because you carry fire in your throat. You love not as a weakness, but as a strength. Because love to the Übermensch is not dependency. It is overflow. A man who has integrated his chaos can offer love without fear, because he does not need it to survive. Women may still come and go. Life may still betray you. Pain will still visit. But you will not be shaken, because you are not the same. You are not the camel, not the lion. You are the child, and the child does not beg for meaning. He creates it. You must be ready to burn yourself in your own flame. How could you rise anew if you have not first become ashes? Nietzsche. They won't tell you this. Not the red pill creators. Not the dating gurus. Not the productivity influencers. Because it doesn't sell courses. Because it doesn't go viral. But Nietzsche would tell you straight without blinking. There is no hack, no cheat code, no endgame. There is only fire, only the abyss, only a man, you, staring into the pit of everything he's lost, everything he's feared, and everything he must become, and choosing to leap anyway. That is what makes you dangerous. That is what makes you real. Truth number 1. You will suffer more than you think. The red pill promises that once you level up, the pain will stop. But Nietzsche says, no. When you level up, the pain begins. Not because life hates you, but because the gods only speak to men who bleed. If you want to carry deep meaning, you must carry deep wounds. You want to be wise, then love and lose. Trust and be betrayed. Fail and get back up. Not once, but 100 times. To live is to suffer. To survive is to find some meaning in the suffering. You must look into your wounds and smile, because that pain is not your enemy. It is your initiation. Truth number 2. You are not meant to be understood. You keep trying to explain yourself to her, to your friends, to your past. Stop. The higher man is distinguished from the lower by his fearlessness and his readiness to challenge traditional values. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be true. Let them call you crazy. Let them say you've changed. Let them mock your solitude. That is the sign you are becoming a real man, not a people pleaser, not an algorithm slave, not another product of broken society, but a builder of new truths. Truth number 3. You must burn before you shine. Every red pill man talks about glow-ups. But Nietzsche talks about combustion. Glow-ups are external. Combustion is internal. If you do not burn the old version of you, if you do not suffer the death of your ego, if you do not face your darkest instincts and bring them to heel, you will always be pretending. Become who you are, not become who society told you to be, not who women want, not who your trauma shaped, who you truly are. The man who rises from his own ashes. That is sacred, and it cannot be bought. Truth number 4. Women are not the enemy. They're the mirror. The red pill made you paranoid. It taught you to hate her nature, to see every smile as manipulation, to read betrayal into every silence. But Nietzsche would ask, why are you still giving her that much power? She's not your downfall. She is your reflection. She reveals where you are insecure, where you seek approval, where your masculine fire has dimmed. And if she leaves you, if she mocks your softness, good. Because that pain will forge something no pickup strategy ever could. Sovereignty. The day you stop fearing female rejection is the day you become unbreakable. Truth number 5. You must create what did not exist before. This is Nietzsche's final command, the hardest, the holiest. I teach you the Übermensch. Man is something that shall be overcome. The point is not to be better than other men. It's to become something no man has been before. Not a beast, not an alpha, not a slave, but a creator. You must build a life from first principles. Craft meaning out of your unique pain. Design a code of honor that no one else follows, because no one else has your scars. You must build the life that was missing when you were at your lowest. That is your revenge. Not bitterness, creation. You're still here. That means something, because this wasn't easy to hear. It wasn't comfortable. It wasn't high-value advice. It was a wake-up call. You've survived pain, but now you must transform it. You've been betrayed, but now you must transcend it. You've been ignored, ghosted, shamed, and now you must become the man who no longer needs permission to exist. Let the red pill do what it does. Let the crowd chase followers and hacks. You go higher. Because when all of it fades, the hype, the dopamine, the lies, you'll still be standing on your mountain, in your fire, with eyes that see through illusion and a heart that no longer needs to be healed, because it has already turned into stone. I want to teach men the sense of their existence, which is the Übermensch, the lightning out of the dark cloud man. Nietzsche. What you must remember. 1. Pain is not your enemy. It is your rite of passage. 2. Don't stop at rebellion. Become a creator. 3. Red pill is a mirror. Nietzsche is the fire. 4. Don't chase meaning. forge it. 5. You are not here to fit in. You are here to become a force. And if the world doesn't recognize you, good. Because legends are always misunderstood, until they're no longer around to be denied. So rise, bleed, roar, burn. And when they ask what happened to you, tell them, I killed the man I used to be, and built something the world wasn't ready for. Subscribe for more forbidden truth.